Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for One Night Only. But before we get into that, let's get the house thing out of the way. Share and leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on One Night Only, and of course, hit the subscribe button as well. If you're going to my YouTube career, I'll greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, I was actually looking forward to this one. This wasn't like most anticipated of the year or anything. No, hell, the movie wasn't even on my radar until I saw the trailer, and y'all saw how this movie is kind of being marketed, or what the ongoing joke is. It's The Purge, but with sex, as opposed to just all crime is now for any single person to have premarital sex, or just a person not married, for that matter. Unless you're married, you are not allowed to have sex. Except for one night a year. One night a year, you are allowed to do that. And it stars Monica Barbero. We have Colin Turner as well, starring as Owen and Allie as the respective characters, who are each kind of looking for that love, kind of like a lost romantic as well. Owen is just recently single on this night, while Allie is just kind of that hopeless romantic. And on a night that is truly not that romantic, she is still looking for that romance. And everything in this movie, another thing that I really appreciate about it, because what I really liked about the trailer as well, it just seemed like, hey, within today's society of how sex kind of is, it's not really about it's not that intimate, to be completely honest with you, anymore when it comes to sex. It's just like, it's very transactional now in a lot of ways, or it's just, it's so normal that, again, it's just not as taboo, and it's just like, hey, you want to have sex, do you not? Like, I thought these were the type of things that the movie was going to communicate within it. And at the end of the day, it's just your typical standard rom-com throughout. So if you haven't enjoyed rom-coms before, I don't think this movie is really going to change your tune on it. Again, it kind of hits those same beats all the way throughout, and I enjoyed them for what they were. This was the ride that it went on, and again, it's not really trying to communicate anything special. Again, like everything I thought that the movie was going to communicate going into about this, hey, sex isn't as intimate. It's more about getting to know the person. That's where the true intimacy is, as opposed to, hey, just seeing someone naked throughout. And there's really not a whole lot of nudity in this film either. In fact, I can't recall seeing any boobs in it. And again, I thought that was a strength of the movie as well, was trying to communicate. I was like, hey, again, seeing the naked body is not as it's not about that. The intimacy of sex, again, is about really knowing someone. That's where the true intimacy comes in. And it turns out that, they just ran some tests, and apparently people don't like seeing boobs, and apparently there was a version where there is a bunch of tits and ass in it. Look, I get it. Sex and nudity is not really going to elevate a movie, or, hell, what is even the point of having the nudity in the film, right? But if you got Monica Barbero, who, is a very beautiful woman, and hell, you have a lot of beautiful people in this movie, I am not going to complain if I'm going to be seeing them naked. I just really curious to see what these people were talking about, to be completely honest with you. But, get into the actual story stuff of the night itself. Again, nothing from, a story structure. Again, it's very traditional when it comes to a romantic comedy. Some of the things I really liked about the movie, I think Colin Turner and Monica Barbero playing Owen and Allie, I think they had very, very good chemistry throughout the whole entire film. They bounced off of each other. You're just like, man, get a room, you two. Like, you want to see them get it on, because again, they have really good chemistry within it. There was quite a few times where I did laugh out loud pretty well. Again, I was having a good time throughout the movie. The only issue I had with it is that, again, one, I probably would have liked to see a little bit more explanation of the night, of like why this is happening, why the government deemed this was nice. Now, they do attempt it in some ways. Like, I had some questions like, why just premarital sex completely? And is there an age limit? Is teenage pregnancy down lower than usual? Is getting diseases down more than usual. If you are married, is there a penalty if you have sex with someone else? Or is this movie like just free range to go wherever? And again, they kind of explain all of those as they go. But again, I think there was an opportunity to explain some things and to go more deeper into it. And at the end of the day, they kind of just touch on it on the top level of it and not fully go into it. The other thing I wasn't a huge fan of this movie is that they kept separating our two leads throughout. Like, again, big city, and they are separate for most of the time until they meet up. And again, it's one of those nice meet cute moments until there's something that happens that forces them to be separate. Then they're separate, and then they come back together, and again, that chemistry is going through it. Now, again, a movie that's about having, you hook up with anyone and you want to find these people. It's understandable why they would separate, right? Like, okay, I'm not gonna just lock in on this one person for the whole entire time, even with the mess ups that happen. I'm not saying that, but when you know your whole movie is based around, hey, these are our two that we're gonna want to be with, let's get them together and let's have them stay together in a lot of ways. And we've seen romantic comedies where they go, hey, yeah, let's just be friends. You want that person, okay? Then as they're trying to help each other get this person, if you will, they are realizing who they truly wanted the whole entire time, which is the person, it is the other lead of that movie, and therefore there's the love that's falling down. And there is a portion in this movie that is kind of like that, but again, it's not fully explained, and they separate once again. You're just like, ah, dang, and then they come back together, and then they separate again, and it just goes to that one too many times for my liking, that even when we are getting to the final act, I'm just like, man, we did this way too many times. I kind of wish we could have removed one and just got to this one. It would have had that nice little bit of flow, because every time they were separate, it was a little bit jarring when we were cutting back and forth, because it did feel a little bit sudden in a way, because we'll be hanging out with one person and you really feel like it's really building up to this climax, if you will, no pun intended, and then we're cutting to this other point of view, because again, we have two leads that we have to cover. And at first, in the beginning, it's fine, because again, we're building up to them meeting each other. Once they meet each other, they need to kind of stay together in some way, shape, or form. There's one portion of the movie where, we're following one person, and as we're getting ready to transition, they like pass each other, and it's like very organic. That one I like, but all the other ones were just like, okay, now we're following Owen. Okay, now we're following Allie. Okay, now we're following Owen. Okay, now we're following Allie. Oh, they're together. They have such great chemistry. They're bouncing off back each other. Very, very nice, blah, 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 very good stuff. And now we're back to going separate. Here's just Owen. And now here's just Allie. And again, within that, it does become a little bit jarring. But overall, for that hour and a half that I was in, that 90 minutes, or maybe a little bit longer, I don't think this reaches 2 hours. Was I having a good time? Yeah. Would I be rushing out to see it again in the theaters? No. If someone invited me to go see it, I would probably go. I wouldn't mind watching it again. I think this is a great movie that, if cable was still like the main, source of watching at home, if this came up on like a TBS or a USA network, I would watch it until maybe the next commercial break or two. Or hell, maybe I would just sit down and watch all of it if I saw it on the guide ready to be played. Or if I see this on streaming, if I have nothing else going on, yeah, I might have it on just to have it on in the background. Again, it's not a movie I do not mind watching again, but it's not a movie I'm going to be really eager to watch again either, if that makes sense. If I had to rank this on the lemon scale, sour lemon at the bottom, then expired store-bought lemonade. Then store-bought lemonade after that, good movie, but hey, bad. Lemonade in the middle, it's a movie. Freshly squeezed lemonade, very good movie, minor problems. And then strawberry lemonade at the very top, because that's the best kind of lemonade. One Night Only is really good lemonade. Again, not freshly squeezed, but still very good lemonade nonetheless. It's a movie that, I probably won't remember within a year, but then by that time it's time to watch it again, and I won't mind myself doing that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on One Night Only. Comment below, let me know your thoughts if you had a chance to see it. Leave a like if you made this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give you all, so squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.